teams want to get that win before the tournament ends. James, and good to have you with us as we've got a quad header of basketball. If you want to see any of the players in the PIT, today's your final chance to do so.
Yeah, man, I'm really happy to be here again. It's been an awesome week of basketball action, good networking, good viewing. And if you are a basketball fan, if you are an agent, if you are a coach, scout, if you are a basketball enthusiast, this is the event that you should be at. And I'm just excited to be in the gym on this Saturday morning with you, Matt, so it's going to be good.
Likewise, and that latest basket was scored by the 6'11" forward wearing number 22 in red, C.J. Huntley from Appalachian State. Shots missed inside, and Jamin Breakfield's going to get the rebound, number 23 in white for Mike Duman. He out of Ole Miss, 6'8" forward. We'll give you the starting lineups here when we get a second as our game is underway. A turnover. We've got 3 more games to come today, including the 5th place game at approximately 1 o'clock Eastern with Sales Systems and Roger Browns, both of whom are 1-1 overall. The 3rd place game at 5 o'clock Eastern with Portsmouth Sports Club versus Portsmouth Partnership, each at 1-1 overall, and as well as the championship game at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight as Huntley's able to score again underneath the cup. 2-0, Jenny King against Mike Duman Auto in the white uniforms, Norfolk Sports Club in the red jerseys. Trailing it by 3, Norfolk Sports Club coached by Webb. Tyler Robinson. Our officials for today's game, Angel Kent, Kelsey Reynolds, and Tim Green, as possession is picked up now by Norfolk Sports Club on the move behind one of those guards in Eric Reynolds the second, and then it's Tyson Degenhart, number 20, the 6'8" forward from Boise State, knocking down a triple. He hit 166 of those threes in his 4-year career at Boise, James.
Yeah, I mean, I love the start of this game right now for Norfolk. Usually these games lack a lot of energy, not many people in the crowd, an early tip-off time for these teams. But, man, Norfolk right now getting out running. They're hitting their shots. They're getting to their spots. And they're letting them fly from beyond. And there's another 3. I believe that's the 3rd one already of the game. And this could prompt a timeout for Mike Duman and company.
Give it to Eric Reynolds, the second of St. Joseph's. We'll take a timeout, too. 7:05 to go in the first. Norfolk Sports Club up by 9. You're watching exclusive coverage of the 71st Annual PIT.
Woo. They started early.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Early start time on us here. Dozens of scout managers and out witness the action alongside James Blackburn. Matt Hatfield here with you. I want to thank our entire hardworking team all week long here on WGNT TV locally in the Hampton Roads market, as well as on Prep Spin globally. As off the glass by Texas A&M guard, 6'1" tall Wade Taylor IV, a 3-time All-SEC first-team performer for the Aggies, and Buzz Williams. That team for us consisting of Tori Bailey, our camera operator and / producer upstairs with us all week long. Check that. Joe Allen, our camera operator and producer with us all week long upstairs. Tori Bailey on camera down on the floor. We've also got Brian Martindale on the floor working camera. William Warfield back in our Prep Spin truck. A lot of sleepless hours, James, but it's a fun extravaganza to be a part of.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just a fantastic event. The whole team does a great job, really professional production, and, yeah, I'm just happy to be part of it. So.
Stolen away there as it's Jemiah Neal getting it, the 6'5" guard from Creighton out of Toledo, Ohio. Neal, who had a monster game in the NCAA tournament win over Louisville with 29 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and there's a whistle as Say Edwards comes in off the bench. He's having a nice tournament, James, the 6'10" forward for Georgia State, who averaged 16.2 points per game this year for the Panthers. Spent 2 seasons at Xavier, 1 at Missouri State. So far in his tournament, 14 points in a loss, 22 points in a defeat. So you come here to Portsmouth, the average 18 a game, you're doing something right.
No, I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. He's a guy that I'm not sure how many NBA scouts really saw him this season in the Sun Belt League. 4-man. Good rebounder, has a great.
Mason telling you about the scratches. There's C.J. Huntley. There's nothing scratchy about that.
There's a little SLD to start off the day.
And again, just to remind the folks, SLD, what's that?
Shack-like dunk.
Oh, all right, it's a big fella. He likes to say barbecue chicken and throw it down with authority. And there's the three-pointer for Jemiah Neal. But some scratches due to injury. Patrick McCaffrey from Mike Duman out of Butler. Father Fran McCaffrey, who he played for at Iowa.
Was here yesterday, too.
Yeah, he got hurt yesterday in the loss for Mike Duman, as that's a triple that's dialed up for number 12 in red, 6'3" guard Cam Carter of LSU for Norfolk Sports Club. But McCaffrey got hurt in that loss for Mike Duman as they got beat 95-87 by Roger Browns. And there's UConn's Samson Johnson. We like to call him Slamson Johnson because he's a lob threat who dunks it down quite a bit, part of back-to-back national championship teams with the Huskies. All-time winningest guy at UConn with 115 wins. We talk about, as a player, most wins in program history. Think of all the pros UConn's had, the Emeka Okafors, the Ben Gordons, the list goes on and on.
Kemba Walkers.
Guys. Yeah, you just can go on and on. And he's got more wins than anybody. One guard out of Central Florida who averaged over 17 a game, and he had a monster game, did Johnson, with 42 points in the Crown Tournament out in Vegas that UCF was able to prevail in over Villanova before losing to Nebraska in the championship. So no Johnson, no McCaffrey, and that matters because, James, for folks who don't know, these rosters are 8 players per team, so you have
more games in a period of 3 days with only 7 players, sometimes even only 6 players. So, yeah, I mean, these last days is all about just grinding it out and having a good showing here on the last day, which I'm really impressed early on. I mean, usually these games, sometimes the energy's low. It's hard to really get going. But, I mean, both these teams are coming out. They're playing hard. They're showing good energy, and that's what they have to do. No matter what the scoreboard says, no matter what their win-loss record is coming into this, you're still being seen. There's eyes still on you.
And Norfolk Sports Club, which is 0-2, they suffered a loss on night one, 101-94 to Portsmouth Partnership, and then got beat on its second game on Thursday, 92-82 to Sales Systems. They're not feeling too sorry for Mike Duman because they're down to 7 players. Their scratch today is the 6'11" center from Russia, Victor Locken, who helped perform at Clemson as they reached the Elite Eight a couple seasons ago and made the NCAA tournament again this year, as that was a 3-point shot for Mike Duman to pull within 2. Locken has played well in this event, actually had 15 points and 12 rebounds in his second game and 18 points on 8 of 9 shooting in his first game. That latest 3 by Wade Taylor IV. So they're down to 7 guys, Mike Duman down to 6.
Yeah, and Victor Lockton's a big loss for Norfolk. I mean, he's a big that can protect the rim. He can hedge out. He can even switch ball screens, shows really good feet. He can hit the 3 occasionally as well. He's just kind of a do-it-all, versatile, modern big, and he's going to have, you know, a lot of workouts coming up, so he wants to make sure he stays healthy. But, yeah, both teams kind of suffering losses from some top guys.
17-15 in favor of Norfolk Sports Club. Handoff just in front of the bench. Step back move for Poulikitis as the shot clock sounds, and it's a violation. So it's almost easier to tell you who's not starting than who is. The one guy that didn't start for Mike Duman is their leading scorer in this tournament, Say Edwards. Their starters, however, number 7, the 6'1" guard from Texas A&M, Wade Taylor the fourth. Number 11, John Poulikitis, the 6'6" guard from Yale. Number 12, 6'5" guard Jeremiah Neal of Creighton. As an attack move, unable to get to go. The rebound there by Edwards. Number 20, the 6'10" center Samson Johnson of UConn we just referenced. And number 23, 6'8" forward Jamin Brakefield of Ole Miss. As that pull-up jumper is knocked down by Neal. Tied up at 17 all here. And we have another timeout on the floor. So we'll take 1-2 with 2:57 to go and come back and tell you who got the start for Norfolk Sports Club and the two guys that didn't. You're watching exclusive coverage of the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament.
Proud sponsor of this year's PIT.
Invitational Tournament.
Up close look on the bench. Drink that water. Stay hydrated. Trust me, I know it is like you got to have that water. H2 with Mike Duman and Norfolk Sports Club alongside James Blackburn, Matthew Haffner with you here at the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament. Norfolk Sports Club got up by as many as 9, James, but Mike Duman has battled back, and they're doing so with 7 players. Mike Duman with just 6. The two guys that didn't start for Norfolk Sports Club, number 2, 6'1" guard Davon Smith of St. John's, and number 12, 6'3" guard Cam Carter of LSU. Both of whom going to get in the game quickly, as they say. But in Norfolk Sports Club's case, the starters, number 10, Tamar Bates, 6'5" guard out of Missouri. Number 14, Eric Reynolds, the 6'2" guard from St. Joseph's. Number 20, Tyson Degenhart, the 6'8" forward from Boise State. Number 22, C.J. Huntley, the 6'11" forward from Appalachian State. And number 23, Jamil Telfort, the 6'7" forward from Butler out of Montreal, Quebec. Another player, again, we've so many players in this tournament, not necessarily born in the United States of America, as we see the international flavor continue to flourish here at this tournament. And there's a three-point shot. It's knocked down by Cam Carter to break the tie.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the international flavor, Matt. Like, now with NIL becoming a bigger and bigger thing, like, there's a lot of younger talent coming over from Europe. A lot of guys that played on the under-20 national teams, U19s, that normally are guys that are brought up through the pro system, and now they're choosing to develop here in college and get paid more so to do it. And then when they're ready after college, they could go back and play on their senior, pro team. So it's just becoming more of a global game. Every year we see that, not only in college but also the NBA.
Jumper is good. Personal foul assessed to Carter, so Neal starting to get warmed up here in this tournament. He's up to 7 points, making his first 3 shots, and he's a streaky type of player. We saw that at Creighton, even before that at Arizona State, below 30% from deep all 3 years, and he got to 31.2% in his final year at Creighton. He's an athletic dunker too, as that shot is missed inside. Rebound comes out to Poulikitis looking to push. Got a guy open on the wing. They'll give it to Brakefield, who attacks. Head fake move, and it's good. Count it, plus the foul as he draws the personal on Huntley. A chance to finish it off at the free throw line.
Yeah, we were talking about Neal out of Creighton. I mean, good-looking, 2-3 wing that really does a nice job of getting to his spots. You talked about his three-point percentage, more of a mid-range shooter, kind of a throwback, but it's still a 3-level scorer that could get to the basket. Has good ball control, and he's going to have a lot of scouts intrigued by that. It's all about, like you said, can you hit that 3 at an efficient rate, especially from this extended out NBA three-point line you'll see on the floor. We talked about it a little bit. The white line is the NBA 3, and then the black line is the high school line, since we're here at Churchland High School.
Top of the key 3-ball for a Huntley, and it's going to rattle home, and that will give Norfolk Sports Club a 23-22 lead. I want to actually correct myself. It looks like there's actually only one sub available for Norfolk Sports. On Smith, he's out here.
Yeah, he's out
as well, so he's on a scratch. There's 2 apiece.
So only 6 players each. I think they're going to have to be calling me down there, Matt.
Yeah,
I might put on a uniform, go down there and play second half.
Get ready to go out there and pick a couple jumpers there. Attacking off the miss, Cam Carter scoring it off the window, and Norfolk Sports Club pushes its lead to 3.
Let's talk a little bit about Matt C.J. Huntley, who just knocked down that 3. He was one of the only players in college this year that had 40 threes, 40 dunks, and he's had really a great showing this whole week. I mean, he could show he could hit the 3 ball. He's got athletic. He's the post, but I think he's could get a lot of workouts. Tournament that's really showed well all 3 games.
Very much so. At 17 points, 8 rebounds in the loss to Sales. The three-point shot is knocked down.
It's Neal again.
Neal and Bates getting shots to go here in the early going. Bates, one of the nation's leaders in free throws. And you're right about Huntley. 88 starts in 5 seasons at Appalachian State with over 1,300 points and 764 rebounds. His final game was a loss to a school right down the road from here. Old Dominion beat App State 61-56 in the 4th round of the Sun Belt Tournament back on March the 7th, and he had a double-double of 18 points and 12 rebounds. But so far for him, 11 points on 5 of 5 shooting to lead the way. Neal's got 10 on a perfect 4 of 4 from the field.
Yeah, both of those guys going work. Here's Neal again, trying to shake and bake a little bit and create, but
off the backboard, and you can count it for him.
looks like Nick Van Exel out there back in the park.
Oh, Slick Nick from the Lakers days, Cincinnati Bearcat. And that shot's going to be off the mark, but 31 on the board in the opening frame for Norfolk Sports Club. 2 guys in double figures with Huntley and Carter. We'll come on back for the second quarter and see what Mike Duman can do to try to take the lead against them. You're watching the 71st annual PIT from Churchland High.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Second quarter underway in the 71st annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament from Churchland High School. It's a 7th place consolation game between Mike Duman and Norfolk Sports Club. One of these two teams will walk out of here with their only win of the event. The other one will finish up winless at 0-3. It's Norfolk Sports Club in the red uniforms with a 31-27 lead on Mike Duman in the white jerseys alongside James Blackburn. I am Matt Hatfield, our camera operators today.
SER, Preciser. They are here, and they are a new company that digitizes most of the box scores. They've come in this year, and with AI intelligence, they've been able to, really do a lot of analytics, track the shots by both teams, but then also break down offensive, defensive percentages, efficiency rates, and they're, doing a great job partnering with leagues around the world and also teams. And I want to give a shout out to Preciser, the company that's doing a great job and giving us actually breakdowns each game that we can see a lot of cool things that we use on the broadcast.
So really cool. It's amazing what they can do with AI now, artificial intelligence.
Oh, man.
It's just the technology nowadays, it's staggering, and that runner was good to be put on the board here to make it 31-29 by Jamin Brakefield as he's up to 5 points in our game. Brakefield, the 6'8" forward who started out at Duke. And
wow.
And how about that jam up top?
Shots, dunks at the rim, three-point shots, creating his own offense, and you could just tell, like, right now looking at him, he is ready for this moment, and he's doing a great job. He might go for 30 today.
Well, listen, it's almost Easter Sunday. He's got the bunny hops right there. Boom, he was good. The springs off the floor, and that three-pointer was answered by Jamil Telford. The last two at Butler, though his foul shooting dipped. His field goal percentage rose from 43.5% to 47.1%, and his threes went up from 32.7% to 36.1%. Look at that nasty jam again by number 12, Jemiah Neal.
The way he set it up, he rocked his man to sleep, and then he had a great
We're deadlocked at 34 because Neal's got 15 points on the perfect 6 of 6 from the field, 3 of 3 from way downtown. And how about this? It's a little bit reminiscent of what we watched last night, James, with R.J. Felton.
Our guy from ECU. Yeah, same setup. Both guys. Felton last night was hot the first half, cooled off a little bit the second. Let's see if Neal could keep this going. But right now you could just see it in his eyes. He's ready. And he is in the zone, as they used to say right now.
There's a steal, and Brakefield's got it. Two defenders trying to chase him down. Misses the shot. The follow is good, and that gives Mike Duke the lead.
Time by Huntley, showing the vision a little bit. And, one thing to keep an eye on this game, Matt, is legs. We've already talked about the injuries. Both teams down to 6 players each. Not a lot of subs. A lot of these guys have to play, 30, 39 minutes. Can they keep it up? Oh, Neal shows he's human with finally a miss. Yeah, this game right now has a good up and down tempo going. Second half, will it be the same?
Off the glass and good for Telford is now getting hot. He's got 7 points to go with 3 rebounds and 3 assists here. And we're seeing a lot of sharing of the basketball. So far, 14 assists on 16 makes for Norfolk Sports Club. 7 dimes on half of their field goals for Mike Duman. There's another one making 8, as that one's going to be scored by Say Edwards.
Say Edwards.
Say me.
Yeah, he could finish everything inside. Has a great body, but just a great setup that time by Taylor.
Breakout year for the 6'10", 235-pound forward out of Hartsville, South Carolina. Here's Neal with the basketball. Will he take another one from deep?
Oh, good pass. Neal's showing it all right now. He was scoring, and now he's showing the ability to make the second pass. Sometimes, guys, you're on an 0-2 team. You're feeling it, and you want to score a bunch. You might start forcing shots, but that time he did a nice job as we're going to break again.
More second quarter action coming your way. 5:25 to go in the period. Mike Duman and Norfolk Sports Club tied up here at the PIT.
by the Auto Connection.
Deadlocked at 38 apiece in the 7th place consolation game at the PIT. Norfolk Sports Club and Mike Duman alongside James Blackburn, Matt Hetfield here with you on the call. We've got 3 more games to follow today. The 5th place consolation game featuring Sales Systems and Roger Browns. 3rd place matchup between Portsmouth Sports Club and Portsmouth Partnership. And then our nightcap, the championship battle between Jenny King and K&D Rounds at 7 o'clock Eastern. But so far, James, a lot of high-level shot making. This one as Jemiah Neal of Creighton, C.J. Huntley of App State, among others, have come to play.
Yeah, and I mean, both teams right now shooting over 50% from the field, letting them rain from 3. And Norfolk Sports Club, 14 assists. Incredible assist to turn, staying ready, staying locked in, knowing they only have 6 in this.
Second one is good. 40-38, Mike Duman on top.
Samson Johnson, a long 6'10" from the powerhouse of UConn. Like you said, more wins than anybody in UConn's history. You think about, we've already named some of the players. I mean, the Kemba Walkers, the Rip Hamiltons. I mean, just the pros that have come from that school. And he's won more games than any of them. That's, man, it's crazy.
It is astonishing as you look at Johnson, also 76.6% from the field this year. Now, he's not taking outside shots. All those are near the basket, mostly dunks.
But still.
That's impressive to say the least. And he did foul out 5 times this year, which is going to be the issue for him to stay on the floor. He got to stay out of foul trouble. And we watched Degenhart there. How about Tyson from Boise State? 2,037 points in his career as a runner is good right there for Eric Reynolds, the second from points, 700. GPA, only Mount West player to garner that distinction this year of 2-time academic All-American and a finance major. So he's got some good things in his future, maybe beyond basketball.
No, for sure. And I've been impressed with him this week. I mean, you know, he can hit shots, and then his defense's ability too. He's shown the ability to slide his feet, stay in front of guys, and then also he's got a great build to him, and he's able to muscle guys in the post. So he's got a unique game that is going to translate to a lot of different levels. Oh, wow, but that time.
Say Edwards going above the rim.
I mean, that was incredible. If you miss a box out on him, he's going to make you pay.
Continues to get better and better because he was really a non-factor as far as his ability prior to this season for Georgia State, where he really burst on the scene. Going right to the cup, missing it, Eric Reynolds with the layup. And there are some college basketball juniors and sophomores out there, James. They might not be on the radar for, say, an event like the PIT, but if they have a big year like Edwards did, over 16 points, 7 boards, nearly 2 blocks a game, 51% shooting as the 3 ball is delivered from Cam Carter of LSU in the corner, you can now put yourself in position to get draft stock.
Well, yeah, I mean, or you could go into the portal and get paid.
That's happening too.
Wade Taylor with a nice little pull-up, took what the defense gave him, and that was a wide-open 15-footer and splashed it in. Wade Taylor's just a consistent guy that's going to do what he's going to do, not force the issue, and just play his game. Taylor's knocked down a couple here, up to 5 points now, 4 assists.
One of the more accomplished players in this event in terms of what he did at Texas A&M with 2,058 points, 498 assists, 292 made threes, and 213 steals. So we've got another timeout on the floor after that foul. A couple of free throws when we come back. Norfolk Sports Club up by 1. You're watching the
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Mike Duman with a 17-14 second quarter edge on Norfolk Sports Club. However, it's Norfolk Sports Club clinging to a 45-44 lead here as we approach halftime in the 7th place consolation game. It is game number 9 of 12 here at the 71st annual PIT, and it's the first of 4 on this particular Saturday on Easter weekend in the month of April. Matthew Hatfield here with you alongside James Blackburn as we begin the first of our quad header coverage, taking you up to the championship. Both teams still shooting 55% from the field or better.
Yeah, I mean, they're staying hot. I mean, they really are. You think that legs might become a factor at some point with these shots, but, you know, they're getting to their offense. They're moving the ball. I mean, really moving the ball. 16 assists and 8 assists for Mike Duman, and see themselves only down 1. Mike Duman's been down, you know, most of this game. They were down early, big, and then they clawed their way back, and now we've got a tight contest. So I'm hoping, I mean, since this is my last game, I'm going to be in the booth with you, Matt. I'm hoping it's a good game, and it looks like it will.
Sports Club, as you touched on, James, was 9 in that first quarter. They've yet to go to the free throw line until
wow.
now.
That's a good look there. Mike Duman, though, they've been 5 times and hasn't missed one yet, 5 for 5.
So Telford getting the first free throw. Jamil Telford, the 6'7" forward from Butler, as he takes his time and drains the first one for him and his team today at the line. Big moment was his 16 points in the road win in February of 2024 at Creighton. We bring that up with Creighton because we free throw percentage leader in Bates from Missouri. Jumper from distance. He out of the SEC. We've got players from the SEC. The big jumper from distance. He out of the SEC. We've got players from the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big East, the ACC, and also some of the other conferences like Degenhart of Boise State out of the Mountain West. And the Sun Belt we touched on with the big man from Marshall, as the three-point shot is no good from Reynolds of St. Joe's. Offensive rebound by Huntley. Huntley out of App State in the Sun Belt. Edwards out of Georgia State in the Sun Belt. So the Sun Belt well represented. And speaking of the SEC, with one of those guys being Taylor, it's one of those counterparts from the SEC. Tamar Bates of Missouri knocking down the 3. He wearing 10 in red to make it 50-44 as they move the basketball along the perimeter. Shot clock under 10. They'll try to throw it along the baseline to Taylor. His corner 3 ball is short, and the rebound goes to Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley a couple of boards back to back.
Reynolds can't get the jumper to go, but another hustle play off. Just like that, the lead is 9 again for Norfolk Sports Club.
Yeah, back-to-back threes for Bates. Had a really good season this year at Missouri, who had a good bounce-back year and a really his measurables right now, but he's got to be close to a 6'10" wingspan, I would think. He is long and lefty that could hit shots, and this is him right now with the ball.
Oh, errant pass, though, as it's Samson Johnson getting in the vicinity to pick it up on a steal.
Yeah, he thought Huntley was going to dive ball side, and Huntley went weak side.
Bounce pass down low, and Breakfield's going to get it from Jemiah. Now, you touched on it, not just his scoring ability, James, but Neal doing other things besides getting the ball to go through the net.
Yeah, I mean, Neal started off 6 of 6, I believe, really hot. Then he missed one, and now he has a couple of not just, you know, basic passes, but really setting up his teammates for easy scores. Bates trying to go 3 for 3, and look at this, he does.
Tamar putting 2. Breakfield, jumper in the high post area off the back end of the rim, rebounded underneath by Bates, and he'll let the horn sound as he heaves it down the court. We'll go to halftime with a double-digit lead for Norfolk Sports Club, leading Mike Duman 56-46. Come on back for more coverage of the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament from Churchland High School in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the
Seventh place consolation game at the 71st annual Portsmouth Invitational set to get underway. Norfolk Sports Club on top of Mike Duman Auto 56-46 alongside James Blackburn. Matt Hatfield here with you. First half scoring leaders 13 points apiece for Missouri's Tamar Bates and LSU's Cam Carter, both from the LSU. App State's CJ Huntley with 11 for Norfolk Sports Club. For Mike Duman, lone double-figure scorer. Creighton's Jemiah Neal, 15 points on 6 of 7 shooting from the floor, 3 of 3 from long distance as both teams combined to make 15 threes. James, 10 for Norfolk Sports Club, which is defending right now in the red unis to start this third quarter, and it'll be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, Mike Duman, has been down most of this game, and they're going to need Neal to get back where he started, get back. The scouts, make sure you do what you're supposed to do and play the right way.
Degenhart for 3, and Tyson Degenhart of Boise State for Norfolk Sports Club tickles the twine with the tray ball.
Yeah, great player, multi-dimensional, already has 4 assists this game, unselfish, taking the shots that the defense is giving him, not forcing anything, and that one was a high arcing splasher.
John Poulakidis of Yale unable to get his three-point attempt to fall on this possession. However, it will remain with Mike Duman in the white unis as number 7, Wade Taylor IV of Texas A&M.
Yeah, Norfolk Sports Club starting to extend this lead out.
Ball's knocked almost out of bounds. It's going to be a live basketball, and Tamar Bates steals it. It almost went out of bounds. He'll pick it up, try a 3. It won't go down.
Good swing around the key. Bates gets it back, gets another crack at it. Good passing this time by Norfolk Sports Club as the ball went side to side, but they weren't able to capitalize.
On the move now, Jemiah Neal will pull it back. Here's Taylor. Losing
another steal.
Chance for 3-on-1 in transition. They'll bounce it up ahead, and Cam Carter will score it off the glass for he's up to 15 points. Cam Carter has been known to be three-point happy, but he's got some savvy scoring ability, and he led a dramatic win over Oklahoma, 82-79. Also led the Tigers to a big win at home over Arkansas.
Yeah, another SEC guy that's used to heavy hitting action, and turnovers starting to become an issue now for Mike Duman. 10 now for the game, and it's not just turnovers, it's live ball turnovers that Norfolk's turning into points.
Degenhart for 3 off the back end of the iron, rebounded by Jamin Brakefield underneath. Brakefield, who put up 11.1 points, 4.3 rebounds per game for a Sweet 16 Ole Miss Rebels team this past year. Three-pointer for Neal won't go down. We have a whistle. It's going to be a foul. 15-point deficit now for Mike Duman, which could be headed for an 0-3 showing here at the PIT, but not having the services of injured players like UCF's Darius Johnson and Butler's Patrick McCaffrey affecting them, as that depth is an issue. Although for Norfolk Sports Club, they're without the services of Victor Locken of Clemson and Davon Smith of St. John's. There's a 3 ball though. Actually, it'll be a 2 rather, as Mike Duman gets it with Say Edwards scoring it.
Yeah, Say Edwards has been a lone bright spot for this Mike Duman team all week. Already mentioned him multiple times. Great frame, kind of a throwback 4-man. Good rebounder and just great in that mid-post area, that time hitting in the 15-footer.
Poulakidis of Yale with his 3rd assist on that last field goal, although he did misfire on a three-pointer, 1 for 6 now. On
you know what we call that right there, don't you? We call that a little mouse in the house barbecue chicken. As Degenhart had a huge height and weight advantage on his defender that time, and Neal, I think, based on my listings, he had almost a 50-pound advantage.
Woo. Goodness. Up ahead, leaking out. CJ Huntley scoring it off the glass for 2, and a timeout is called. We'll see if open up this third quarter on a 9-2 burst. More PIT action coming your way. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
WGNT TV in Hampton Roads, airing the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament, and prep's been all across the globe as well. 65-48 lead for Norfolk Sports Club on top of Mike Duman with James Blackburn. Matthew Hatfield here with you on the call of his 7th place consolation game. Mike Duman falling 111-79 in its opener of this event on Thursday night to Janet King, which is playing for the championship, then got beat by Roger Brown's 95-87 yesterday. Meanwhile, Norfolk Sports Club dropping its opener 101-94 to Portsmouth Partnership on Wednesday night. Ended up losing a game to follow that one. Did Norfolk Sports Club as well. 92-82 on Thursday afternoon to Sales Systems as we have a whistle underneath. Tamar Bates trying to be disruptive, which he's done on the offensive end today, James, with 13 points and 3 assists.
Yeah, absolutely. Bates has been really good today. Knocked down several triples from the outside, many of which were wide open, and nice job this time for Norfolk, whose defense has been just excellent this second half. Forced a lot of turnovers, and the energy and the gas has seemed to really deflate for Mike Duman. Legs are really getting to him this second half. They're having a hard time getting anything easy on the offensive end.
And there's a whistle as Poulikitis, I think we'll get called for wrapping up there. John Poulikitis of Yale, we've mentioned it before, one of only 14 colleges across the country selected to attend the Jason Tatum Elite Camp in July of 2020. First round playoffs against the Orlando Magic as Boston tries to go back-to-back.
Yeah, 2 seed versus the 7, so that should be interesting.
NBA playoffs really commencing today. I know the play-in games for folks say started yesterday. So many of these youngsters out here competing with dreams of one day playing in that setting in the postseason. And it's Say Edwards with a basketball open 3 for him. They'll say, why not? Oh, it's spun out, rebounded by Huntley.
Yeah, Say Edwards, one of these guys that's what he needs to show this week. Can he hit that 3 ball with consistency?
Corner 3 is going to rim out. Long rebound chased down by Jamin Brakefield of Ole Miss.
And, you know, it's a mixture, Matt. We've talked about this several times. These guys trying to play at the next level, trying to play in the NBA specifically, even though a lot of these guys will end up G League, international basketball, and there's nothing wrong with that. All these guys are going to play pro somewhere. But these NBA teams have specific things that they want to see. And as a player, you want to do what got you here. You want to do what you did well. But at the same time, you know, there's also different things you need to show. Like if you're a big, can you step out? Can you shoot? Can you switch on defense? Can you be a rim protector? But at the same time, try not to overdo that, because you don't want to do things that you're not yet good at, because then you could come here and you could have a poor showing and that could get you scratched off the list. So it's all about a balance. And at the end of the day, you want to come here, you want to play hard, you want to compete, and you want to show the scouts that you could play at the next level and do what you do well.
Telford gets called for the foul. Wade Tittle, the 4th, hitting a pair of free throws to give him 9 points on the day. As we move it close to our 4th quarter, I'll get your thoughts on potential all-tournament team candidates here, as it's a running layup that's good for Tamar Bates. He of Missouri. Hard to get some of those all-tournament guys from a game out of the consolation 7th place, but I'm sure there will be some names that you'll be circling as candidates for it.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that, and it's interesting. Some of these guys, like a Victor Lockton, for example, well, you know, could you put him on the all-tournament team if you don't play all 3 games, right? So it's if you're only talking about that time, I think about 3 players might get the credit for that shot block for White. So great job there on the team defense, as this game now is starting to get a little up and down. It had slowed down.
And of course the crowd will get bigger as the night goes on for the championship game here, in the 3rd place game that'll be coming up. Championship at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight with Jenny King against K&D Rounds. 5 o'clock 3rd place game with Portsmouth Sports Club against Portsmouth Partnership. 5 o'clock, and in our 1 o'clock game, the 5th place matchup, Sales Systems versus Roger Browns, as that foul is on Huntley. It's his 3rd personal. Tell you what, the name that really jumped off the page last night was R.J. Felton of East Carolina that leaps to mind as we watch a substitution with Missouri's Tamar Bates going to the bench and Boise State's Tyson Degenhart coming in. Degenhart out of Spokane, Washington. Another one that's got to be up there is Sean Padula of Ole Miss. He's come up for a chance to get the championship, and he's been the guy that's come through in crunch time for 2 wins for his K&D Rounds team.
Well, that's a game that we had last night, K&D and Portsmouth Partnership, and I hate that one of those teams had to lose that game because both teams have been really good. And K&D Rounds has 2 players that I love that's been playing excellent, and Nate Santos and Sean Padula, particularly Sean Padula, like you said last night, had 5 points in like the last minute of that game, and several of those were end up being, the game winners or the go-ahead buckets.
3-pointer from the wing just in front of Coach Webb. Hatch won't go down for John Poulikitis. He of Yale for Mike Duman. And there's the layup that's running in and good for Eric Reynolds, the second 6'2 guard for St. Joseph's from Temple Hills, Maryland. We haven't talked about him a ton. 35 games for the Hawks this past year. James, 16 points per game. Doesn't have a ton of rebounds and assists, but he finished up his St. Joe's career with 132 starts. He made 353s and scored 2,175 points. So he's done some things right as there's a free ball that's knocked down by Telford. And I think Reynolds has got a little bit of mystery to him because St. Joseph's was not always on TV playing the big spotlight games that some of these players from the SEC, Big 10, Big 12 got.
Yeah, the A-10, one of the most underrated conferences in the country. I mean, a lot of basketball schools with Dayton and Rhode Island and Davidson. So definitely, if you could put up over 2,000 points in that league, you're doing something right. And here he is again showing his shot creation ability to score at all 3 levels. Eric Reynolds, the second out of St. Joseph's, had a good week. His
numbers actually dipped from the past 2 seasons in terms of scoring, but if he can show other things besides that, it'll enhance the stock without a doubt. Now here's an attack move from St. Edwards, but it's blocked initially by Telford. He keeps possession. They go in the high post area to Samson Johnson, gives it to Poulikitis, who drives through, can't get the runner to go, and it's going to be rebounded by Degenhart. Norfolk Sports Club cruising with a 17-point lead now. Carter up to 17 points, and it's a 19-point deficit.
Yeah, I mean, between Bates, Carter, and Reynolds, you've got 3 guys that are just getting to the paint whenever they want right now, and legs definitely becoming a factor for Mike Duman. That's Neal with the miss. Started off the game 6 for 6, but his last few have missed short, and I think that's just all legs.
Carter from way downtown for 3, and it prompts a timeout. All SEC players are shining out here, whether it's Kentucky's Andrew Carr, Ole Miss's Sean Padula we talked about, or players like Missouri's Tamar Bates, and there's one from LSU in Cam Carter. 22-point game, timeout on the floor from the PIT.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Back here from the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament. Yeah, the officials getting some camera shine time, too. Angel Kent, Kelsey Reynolds, and Tim Green on this one with our 7th place consolation game featuring Norfolk Sports Club. Blistering Mike Duman right now, 77-55, alongside longtime respected basketball analyst James Blackburn. It's Matthew Hatfield here with you as Coach Ed Young will join us for our next couple of games here from the 71st Annual PIT being aired on WGNT TV and Prep Spin all over the globe. He joked with me this morning on our podcast we do, James, that I made first team all hospitality. We were talking about all tournament selections potentially for the PIT as it's a nice fall-away shot with the feathery touch by the Ole Miss forward, Jamin Brakefield. His Ole Miss teammate, Sean Padula, probably has it close to being on lock, barring a disastrous night tonight as far as being all PIT pick. But we have to shout out some more people as that shot is missed. The great folks in that hospitality room that's helped make it possible for us to chow down, me included. I want to give them a big salute. Karen Cooper, Patsy Griffin, Clint Oliver, Bob and Kathy Wise, as those men and women have just done a fantastic job for the professional scouts, NBA people, agents, media members to really have an enjoyable time here over 4 days. People come from miles and miles and miles, different states, different countries to this event.
Oh, yeah.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for some that are fans in attendance or watching on television all over the globe through Prep Spin, because the 71st Annual PIT has so much rich tradition and history. The names that have come out of here, it's limitless.
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. This event would not be possible without the volunteers every year that do a tremendous job, and whoever's responsible for filling up that peanut M&M jar has done also a tremendous job. Oh, little feet work shown that time by Cam Carter, who's come alive here this second half. He's been tremendous out of LSU.
And I'm curious, too, we spoke last night on our broadcast with Shammond Williams, former UNC great who played in the NBA, now doing some coaching. He's on the men's side most recently with Denver as an interim coach, Old Dominion on the women's side as an assistant before that. But when you have guest speakers at the luncheon like he was, Kyle O'Quinn just yesterday, it's a fall-away shot that's no good for Brakefield here. Ball's going to be rebounded by Telford, the other number 23 in red here. You think of the John Stocktons, the names that have come out of here: Tim Hardaway, Jeremy Lin, Dennis Rodman, Jimmy Butler, Scottie Pippen, Rick Barry, Earl the Pearl Monroe. I can go on and on and on. When the athletes can hear some of them speak, there's that internal motivation to be one of those guys too, but also some inspiration they can gain from it as it's a three-point shot that's knocked down. Count it, plus the foul, a chance for a four-point play for Telford, but it's meaningful to hear from those guys that have been here before.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Anytime you can gain insight and knowledge from somebody that's been in the same spot. I was at that speech yesterday that Kyle O'Quinn gave, and it was pretty cool because he just retired, and, you know, he's only been out about 12 years, and he said, you know, I can remember clearly being in your shoes sitting here, and all these guys, this is their first steps of hopefully a long pro career for these players, whether that is internationally, G League, or NBA if they're fortunate enough to make it that far. And, you know, they've just got to stay disciplined, stay solid, and, you know, embrace and enjoy every step along the way.
Oh, to beat the buzzer, the floater is good for Jamin Brakefield of Ole Miss for Mike Duman, and O'Quinn coming back to Norfolk State, his alma mater, as the Executive Director of Athletic Advancement. 3 quarters in the books. It's Norfolk Sports Club up by 22. Come on back for more from the PIT.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Carter gives him 24 points on 10 of 16, shooting with 3 assists. He's wearing 12 in red for Norfolk Sports Club, up by 24 on Mike Thuman, incorporated here in this 7th place consolation game. They say it's on the floor. They're not going to count the continuation for Wade Taylor IV, alongside James Blackburn. Matt Hefford here with you for the first of our quadruple header of basketball coverage on this Saturday, Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, who doesn't love their hoops fixed? You got NBA playoffs today.
Oh, man.
Tomorrow, Easter egg hunts all over the place. And we got the BIT closing up tonight, the 71st annual edition. How about that high running floater for Wade Taylor IV? His tournament's been a little up and down, but my goodness, you know he's not going to quit until there's triple zeros on the clock.
Yeah, don't look down, but both teams getting hot right now. And we haven't talked enough about Cameron Carter out of LSU. He's a big-time scorer. He was a good three-point shooter, almost shot 40% this year at LSU. He could get to the basket, hit shots off the bounce, and he's got 24 points on a very efficient 10 of 16 from the field today. And he could also make plays on the other side of the ball. I mean, he's got a good block rate for his size, only 6'3", and you know, he's got a tendency sometimes to settle for some tough shots, but today he's filling it up.
You saw Jemiah Neal score it. And there's another basket for Norfolk Sports Club, which is getting closer to triple digits as Tamar Bates adds 2 more to his total. He's up to 17 on 7 of 11 shooting.
Another SEC wing that's getting into the scoring column quite a bit.
John Poulikitis can't knock down the 3, and there's a grown man rebound from Huntley. Up ahead to Jamil Telfort.
Good pass, no look.
Telfort nearly had his 8th assist of the day, which would be the most on the day so far here, James, but there's a whistle to prevent it from being a hoop. Nonetheless, a couple of free throws coming with 8:11 to play.
But give Wade Taylor a ton of credit right there. I mean, this is the stuff the NBA scouts are looking at. It's Saturday morning, 11 o'clock game. Your team's losing by 24 points, okay? And you're a 6'1" guard, one of the shortest guys in the tournament. You hustle all the way back, and what could have just been another bucket in a seemingly meaningless game, you take it away. And I mean, they called the foul, but that could have very easily been a clean block. So little things like that that don't really show up in the box scores is what you're trying to show these scouts in attendance, that you're showing energy, you're showing a fight, and you're being competitive even in this game.
Foul was on Wade Taylor IV. Second free throw was good after Cam Carter missed the first.
And every player in the game right now for Norfolk Sports Club is in double figures and taking advantage of the fact they only have 6 players, so extra shots, extra minutes for these guys.
That just means Eric Reynolds II has to get there. He's got 5 assists, 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting. One of the guys not on the floor has got a chance to get to that double-figure mark because we've still got 7 minutes and change to go. And there's another basket for Say Edwards.
Yeah, Say Edwards has just he's been consistent all week. I mean, you know, he's just a guy that's just going to bring it. Like Kyle O'Quinn said that he's an everyday guy, and that's what Say Edwards is this week. And Tamar Bates, I mean, they're just going back and forth. It's like, okay, Bates, you have a turn. Cam Carter, you get a turn. They're just going back and forth. The 2 SEC guys, they're normally going against each other, now on the same team.
92-67 in favor of Norfolk Sports Club. You know, most of these games have been close this week, James, as 6 of the 8 contests coming into today have been decided by 8 points or less. The 2 that haven't were lopsided wins for Janet King, 111-79 over Mike Newman on Thursday night. And on Thursday, the 10-point win to start off our action on April 17th when Sales Systems beat Norfolk Sports Club 92-82, but not exactly a blowout. This is really only the second blowout per se out of 9 games here at the PIT.
And is Janie King going to be in the championship against K&D? Am I right about that?
Yep.
So K&D, I've gotten to see quite a bit, Matt. You know, I've watched him really close. Janie King, I have not seen quite a bit, but I know that what I have been impressed with that team is their ball movement. They have shared the ball like they've been playing together all season, and that is going to be a very competitive and compelling game between those 2 teams. I'm going to go ahead, though, and go out on the limb here and say that I am going to favor Janie King in that game. I just think that their depth on that team, and Gabe Madsen out of Utah has been very impressive. He's a player I did not see this year. You talk about energy and a guy that provides fight. I mean, my goodness, he is a guy that's just going to be 40 minutes, 10 out of 10 energy. And between him and Padula, that's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah, the all-time three-point shooting leader. A heck of a performance last night with 28 points in that 82-80 win over Portsmouth Sports Club. It'll be interesting to see who gets all tournament recognition from those two teams. You obviously think Padula's a lock. You have some choices with Ashworth as well as Jones. You mentioned Madsen, and even Nelly Jr. Joseph has been pretty consistent this week as far as impacting the game. He had 20 points and 7 rebounds, the big man from New Mexico.
No, he's been good. And Zach Fremantle, too. He's been another one of these guys. Consistency has been a big thing. Like, that's what's impressed me most about this tournament. The depth this year, what that's showing is a lot of guys that are putting up consistent lines. Sometimes you see a guy pop off for a 24-point game, and in the other games he's not so great. But, I mean, a lot of these guys, we've already talked about Zach Fremantle. We've talked about Edwards, in this game, how consistent he's been. Obviously we've got Padula's been consistent. R.J. Felton's had 2 great games. So, yeah.
Last 2 baskets by Yale's John Poulikitis and St. Joe's Eric Reynolds. Timeout on the floor, 25-point lead. More to come from the PIT at Churchland High.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
They're wiping the floor. You can come on in and wipe the floor. Don't walk away from the camera. You got the autographs, though, on the back of that shirt, the young fella. 94-69 lead. Mike Duman trailing in this 7th place consolation game. Matt Hatfield here with you alongside James Blackburn. We've got 3 more games to follow. The 5th place game at 1 o'clock Eastern, the 5 p.m. Eastern game, 3rd place matchup, and the championship coming up tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern with Jenny King and K&D Rounds.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out, Matt, first of all to yourself. I mean, Matt Hatfield, super professional, well prepared. I mean, you ought to see this man's notes up here. I mean, this guy knows it all. Every single player knows their backgrounds, their stats, and I mean, I've been fortunate to be working with you all week, Matt. You've made my job easier. I know the kind of the shoes you're filling right here is the play-by-play guy. You never get enough credit, and you've done an awesome job. And then our other color guys, I mean, David Solomon, from David Solomon to Matt Jones, Daniel Skolowski to Jordan Maka, and all these guys have done a great job all week being our color guys. And then our guests. I mean, we've had some great guests. You've already talked about Shaman Williams and others that have come in and provided good insight on these players. And yeah, it's just been a fun week. As we see, it looks like a little matchup zone here.
Oh, a deep 3 from Wayne Taylor, the 4th of Texas A&M. And yeah, you're too kind, James. You've been outstanding to work with as well. And we'll have Coach Ed Young joining us. We also had Trey Freeman on yesterday. If you missed any of our conversations, our analysts, our play-by-play action, any of the games you want to see, it's available up on PrepSpin. Go give it a follow on the X. PrepSpin, you can go back and watch the archive matchups for all of you PIT aficionados. If you're a fan of, say, someone like number 10, Missouri's Tamar Bates, who hails from Kansas City, Kansas, and you want to go back and see what Tamar did in games 1 and 2 here, you can go back and watch it through the great folks at PrepSpin, its social media channels, and the website, as we have a 24-point lead now for Norfolk Sports Club. Little head fake move, and there's going to be a foul, so a couple of free throws coming out for Ole Miss forward Jamin Brakefield as this event continues to evolve, and many thanks to all that have made this possible to put it on here. I know it's a collaborative effort from all the PIT people.
Cliff Sales gets another shot.
First night, want to shout out Elise Scripter on stats today. Jim Heath has been working numbers all week long. He'll be back later today to give some computer statistics and just the whole crew across the way. Webb Hatch and that bench. That's Pat Doolin, was the basketball coach for many years here at Church High School. He's the guy he's the first one that got me in the gym here on. And he's the one that's in charge of the coaches, organizing the coaches and a lot of things in terms of practice times. He's running, ripping and running, as they say, doing things here for the PIT. As there's a three from the top of the key that's knocked down, and that's Tyson Degenhardt of Boise State, who continues to sizzle.
Yeah, 15 points. Quietly had a nice game. 4 rebounds, 5 assists. I think he's probably got a couple of steals thrown in there as well. Stuff in the stat sheet. State out west. I know got a couple of buddies at home. Got to give a shout out to Josh Thompson, head coach at Bishop McGuinness. Always gets tired of hearing me praise the Mountain West, and they
great basketball.
Great basketball league. And they've San Diego State. You always got Nevada and Utah, and they always have a guy or two that comes to this tournament that just surprises people. And I mean, Tyson Degenhardt, he's doing a great job showing for the league.
Well, look how good Colorado State was this year. They have a guy
goodness
on their team that's potentially going to get drafted. And just a couple years ago, we watched Brian Dutcher's Aztecs of SDSU
go all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, got to the championship game. They actually beat Jonell Davis's FAU team. Jonell Davis, who finished up at Arkansas, we'll see him later today here at the PIT playing for, I believe it's Sales Systems, coming up in our 1 o'clock Eastern game here for 5th place. But they lost to UConn in the national championship as Jamil Telford will draw the foul. A couple of free throws coming for the Butler forward, who hails from Montreal, Quebec. And you look at the playoffs going on, Clippers and Nuggets. Kawhi Leonard, where did he start at? San Diego State.
Yep, exactly. San Diego State always produces guys, and that. Yeah, I'm glad you. Let's talk a little about the NBA playoffs, Matt. I love the NBA, but I really like the NBA when it's the playoffs. That's when I really start getting into it, and it's because every game matters, And that series, the Clippers and the Nuggets. You're talking about two teams. Look at the star power. Jokic, arguably the best player in the world. Kawhi Leonard, ex-finals MVP. You got James Harden in that series, and the best thing is these guys are healthy.
Yeah.
And they're here and they're ready to play. And honestly, I could see either one of those teams going all the way to the championship from the Western Conference. I really could.
It's got a great chance to, and it makes me think of PIT players that are in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler, who helped the Miami Heat make the finals on a couple of occasions, as Norfolk Sports Club is up to triple digits now with 100. John Poulikitis knocks down the jumper as the 6'6" guard from Yale, who helped them reach the NCAA tournament in back-to-back years scores there. But Butler with the Golden State Warriors in action, and so
my
many guys
personal favorite. You can't forget about him, the Worm, one of the best nicknames in sports history, and Dennis Rodman.
But yeah, he's up there, and he always drove me crazy loving the mailman as I did. And Dorian Finney-Smith, another active guy.
I was here that year. He had a long.
Well, because he played at Norcom High School 5 minutes down the road. Portsmouth was a 2-time state player of the year. We talked about it with Trey Freeman yesterday, who battled with him in that 2016 PIT. Trey, who played at Old Dominion and Kellam High School, as we watch a couple of free throws here for Missouri's Tamar Bates. Dorian Finney-Smith now with the LA Lakers, and that was a great local turnout for that. And there's been so many 7-5-7 players. Those two that year. A few years back, you might remember we had a year where Devin Hall, who played at UVA.
Oh, yeah. We've had a lot of UVA players here.
Coached in high school.
Wow.
Went to Arizona State after playing right now professionally. And Rajay Bullock, if you remember, from Providence, who played at Kickinton High School. So there's been a lot of players from this particular area code that fans that are watching in Hampton Roads on WGNT saw them when they were teenagers playing basketball.
Well, this is a hotbed, basketball hotbed around here. You've got Boo Williams. You've just got, I'm not from here, but I've always been a big fan of the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area with basketball. And it all starts, though, here at the PIT. I mean, this is where it all culminates. And I'm going to throw out a name for you that don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the Earl the Pearl Monroe played here at the PIT. And all you young folks out there don't know the buckets that the Pearl got. A Winston-Salem State guy. I'm from Winston-Salem, Matt. So I wasn't alive when he was there playing, but I do remember, and I do see the video and I hear the stories. And you take this tournament, 71 years, Matt, how long we've done this tournament, and all the alums here.
Go Google them, youngsters out there, or YouTube them. Find out about Earl the Pearl. We'll tell you about some more players in the playoffs from the PIT. It's a 23-point lead for Norfolk Sports Club here. Come on back for more action from Churchland High.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Back here at the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament, 64 of the top college basketball seniors from around the country showcasing their skills in front of dozens and dozens of professional scouts, general managers, and agents. Alongside James Blackburn, Matt Hatfield here with you as Norfolk Sports Club leads Mike Duman 102-79 with 2:38 to go in our 7th place consolation game. Now the big question is, as they've surpassed the 101 by Portsmouth partnership, can they have the most points in a game in this tournament? Currently it's 111 by Jeniking back in Game 5, and their trouncing of Mike Duman, which is getting routed right now by Norfolk Smith, who competed in this event 9 years ago with the Lakers now. You've also got Derek White from the second consecutive NBA championship. Jimmy Butler with the Golden State Warriors, who take on Houston. He played in the PIT in 2011. And a couple of guys came very, very close to making the playoffs. Wesley Matthews with the Atlanta Hawks didn't quite get in as they fell in their play-in game to Miami last night. And also falling in that play-in game was Terrence Mann from Atlanta. Was playing with the Clippers for many years. He's been in postseason games, but we mentioned the 7.57 talent as it's scored off the glass with the kiss by Tamar Bates. And players like the Shannon Evans, Rajay Bullocks, Devin Halls, Trey Freemans, Dorian Finney-Smith in recent years, but also college players. Kyle O'Quinn comes to mind, and Nathan Knight, you remember him. He played in the NBA with Minnesota from William & Mary. That was just 5 years ago here at the PIT.
Yeah, and now with the NBA giving out E10s, giving out two-way contracts, you're able to see more and more opportunities given for these guys to lace up their sneakers in the association, which is the dream of all the players out here to play at the highest level in the world in the NBA.
Underneath, a foul is committed, so Norfolk Sports Club has a minute and change to try to get to 111. I'm not sure that's in their mindset.
It's probably not in their mindset, but the way this game is going, I think that probably will happen, because a minute 50 is a lot of time in this game, a lot of possessions.
Pulakidis is going to take the right shoe off, and I guess he'll make sure his foot is okay.
Yeah, if they need a sub, I'm free.
He's at the sole of his shoe there.
Yeah. Were those Kobe's? Did I see a zoom in? Here we go. We could get a good zoom in. It's got some nice orthotics. It looks like Kobe's from here.
Those are pretty nice shoes.
Yeah. Oh, the shoe broke is what we were told. Yeah.
It didn't explode like Zion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Can we get some new shoes for
Pulakidis of Yale?
Yep. The Ivy League star this year.
Now that's something you don't see happen every year at the PIT, someone's shoe breaking.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that, matter of fact. And they can't really afford to. If this was a close game, that could be an issue.
Well, unfortunately, it's only happening late in the fourth quarter with the outcome pretty much well known.
I would say this game's decided.
He's working on a 12.8 rebound effort. Give
Yeah.
him 14 now as he scores it with the right hand.
Just so consistent inside. 14 points, 8 rebounds now, a couple of assists for Say Edwards, and it's been had a great week for the power forward out of Ole Miss, another SEC player here.
Shot no good underneath, rebounded by Samson Johnson.
Or they could get to 111. That's going to be the thing. They're going to have a couple more possessions here.
Shot won't go down for Neal underneath. The putback is there, though. Off the glass for Say Edwards. Give him one more rebound, and he's got that coveted double-double.
Can Eric Reynolds score the ball and get into double figures? That would give every player on Norfolk double figures. This is him with the ball. Nice pocket pass.
Oh, and there's Degenhart inside.
Oh.
Can't get the finish. Rebound comes out to Jamin Brakefield. Over, little jab move. Jemiah Neal up top to Brakefield. Between the legs with the dribble. Now Wade Taylor, the fourth, has it. Little no-look style pass to Jemiah Neal, who tries a shot with 5 on the shot clock. No good. Rebounded by Degenhart. And they will look to almost dribble it out. About a 4 to 5 second differential between game and shot clock. So they have to hoist one up here. We'll see if Reynolds can get there. He's got 9 points. Tamar Bates and Cam
He's got
Carter,
the mismatch right here.
25 points each for those two.
Let's see if he dribbles it out or elects to play. No soup for you, as they say, Matt.
Two.
That's Neal.
For Jemiah Neal, and that's going to be the end of our ball game. Final score, Norfolk Sports Club victorious 106-85 over Mike Duman. Mike Duman falls to 0-3. Final thoughts here before we sign off, James?
It's been fun. I'm really looking forward to our championship game tonight, and I hope our viewers will stay tuned.
Leading scores, 25 points apiece for Missouri's Tamar Bates and LSU's Cam Carter for Norfolk Sports Club in defeat. Wade Taylor IV of Texas A&M with 20 points. I want to thank our entire team from Joe Allen and Tori Bailey, as well as Brian Martindale on camera, William Warfield in our prep spin truck. For James Blackburn, I'm Matt Hatfield saying so long from Churchland High School in Portsmouth, Virginia. But stick around, we've got more action coming later today at 1 o'clock Eastern from the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament. Talk to you then.